Good afternoon, Tony Dottino here, doing my Live with Tony. As many of you know, if you've watched me before, I am the founder of the USA Memory Championship, which I did now over 25 years ago. And it is hard for me to sometimes step back and realize that we have actually done 24 USA Memory Championships, and we are in the process of doing our 25th. And the wonderful news about that is through our colleagues at Lumosity or Lumos Labs, and they're broadcast out, and our normal folks that follow me or the USA Memory Championship website, we're getting a number of people that are competing, but more importantly, a number of questions that are coming up, a number of different points that are coming in my email that are asking me first, is there an age limit or are there age requirements? So the first answer to that is you need to be at least 13 years old and or above. And you can be as old as you wish to be if you have enough of desire to see how your memory is and test it as a benchmark. And again, as I've said over and over again, if you've heard me over the years, people that compete in the Memory Championship to get that benchmark are already winners in the game of life. And therefore, anybody to me that decides that they want to see where their memories are, and they just want to see if they can improve it on the living examples of that which I teach and preach, as you've heard me, that says anyone can improve their memory at any age. So the second question, so the age limits, there aren't any, just be over 13. So we've had a number of people or parents with kids less than 13 that have made inquiries and unfortunately are not going to be able to compete. Which brings me to a very amusing point that comes up, which is, do we separate the people and score them and categorize them as winners, second, third, by age group? And when I say the second point, by age group, what I have found over the years are teenagers and young 20-year-olds believe that the older people, 55, 60-year-old people, they have an advantage because they're older, and therefore, if you know anything about memory systems and techniques, they have more anchors, they have more associations, they have more links and connections, and therefore older people have got a significant advantage because of their life experiences in maintaining and having a better memory. When you talk to the older people, their concern is they don't want to compete with the younger people because, of course, being younger, you've got a more active brain, you've got a more powerful brain, and you're able to make links and connections and associations that much quicker. And so you've got this coming from both sides. So I find it interesting and important that people are sending emails into the website that are asking about age groups. Do we separate, teenagers and then middle-aged people and seniors into different buckets? And as you can tell, my response has been, if anyone can improve their memory, regardless of their age, wouldn't it be important for us to just be able to learn what those techniques are, take some time to practice them, and then just benchmark against all age groups? And so the answer to the question is we do not segregate by age groups, because the whole purpose of the USA Memory Competition is to demonstrate to everyone that regardless of age, you can improve your memory. Well, that raises the second point, which is, well, wait a minute. I may be able to improve my memory, but how do I compare against my age group? And so what I always tell people is, well, what's important is to start with a baseline. And we have a baseline. We've had 24 years of competitions. We know how many words an average competitor can retain in the 15 minutes we give them in the event. We know how well people are able to retain the order of a deck of cards because of 24 years of doing the event. And we know what people can do with strings of numbers for the same reasons. Where it gets a little bit more interesting is in the Tea Party event, where we give them a mix of information. We give them numbers, we give them words, we give them lists, we give them names and faces. By the way, that's another one we'll come back to. And so what we have are 24 years of information that give us a rough idea. And so anyone that's entering the competition, regardless of age, we can give them a benchmark for, if you want to advance to the finals, then you've got to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 to 75 words in a 15-minute period of time. Now, the Memory League games take you to 50, and so you got to be able to do 50 words, and then it times it. So we give you 5 minutes, and how many words can you remember in 50 words in 5 minutes? And so you can benchmark yourself to say, well, how many words can I remember in 5 minutes? And sometimes people come back and say, well, I can do all 50 words in 5 minutes. And then we say, well, can you start to practice a way to pick up your speed? Whereas you're looking at a word and you're putting it to your anchor, you can pick up the speed of how quick you connect and create these stories that help you facilitate the retention of the words that we give you in our list. And sometimes they're abstract words, or they're verbs and nouns and adjectives, and so we mix up the words, and therefore it requires people that are coming with their anchors at least have 50 anchors when you compete in the Memory League game. And if you can get all 50 of those words in 5 minutes, then we go to the second level and we time it by who did it the fastest. Well, here's what's interesting to me about that. You can train your brain, as we were working with someone last evening, to pick up the pace. It's a skill. So I've got my anchors. Okay, got them. Are they the right anchors? Can you see them quickly? Can you snap them off? Can you beat them to a beat? And then can you quickly take the list of words that we use for training and what we use on different websites and random selections of words? Can you start bouncing those words? Put, boom, boom, boom. Now, if you want to do 50 words in 5 minutes, it says you've got to do 10 words in a minute. So let's break it down. Let's give you 10 words, and let's see how fast you can get through the 10 words. If you can do it in a minute or less, then you're going to be able to do all 50 words in the 5 minutes that the Memory League games have it. And each event is broken down that way. So you can look at a deck of cards. We go through the cards. You have 5 minutes to remember the order of a deck of cards. Some of our mental athletes that have been in this several years have proven that they can take their 5 minutes and they can chop that time down through practice, all through the same mental process of looking at a card, putting it to an image, and then creating a person action object to it, and beat their prior times. So what the whole event is proving to people who decide that they want to improve their memory, they want to learn the skills, they want to practice those skills, and then just benchmark those skills, is that anyone can improve their memory, given the desire to do so. First, the belief that you can, then learning what the skills are, meaning, okay, some people read a book, some people go to online, some people work with us on Zoom. And what we're able to do with them is give them those little coaching tips that make that difference, that take them from, well, this is the way I've always done it in the past, to, well, here's a little shortcut here. Here's something we can teach you that can help you snap through that and get through this wall that you've hit maybe several times. And that's the fun for me, and the excitement and the passion that I have for the event, to prove that anyone can improve their memory. Hold on a second. Hello? Yeah, that's me. Can, yep, can you just hold on 1 minute? I'm finishing up a Zoom. I'll be right back with you. Hospital call I want to take, but I'm just about finished with my Zoom. And so what I want to close with is take a look at our website, look at the USA Memory Championship website, and send me an email. I mean, you know what? The worst thing I do is pick up a phone and talk to people for a few minutes, and I learn something about their worries, their concerns, their priorities, and give them some hope that they too can improve their memories and their mental fitness. Wednesday, June 26th. We're almost at the end of June. 4th of July is coming up. And we'll see you back here out on Friday. I think I should be able to get onto a Zoom call on Friday. So you have a good evening and a good week, and we'll see you then.